Good morning, this is Jeff with Sewer Tech Northwest. We are at 156 Ellis Street here in Oregon City. I describe everything as if you're standing in the street facing the front of the house. We are currently on the left side of the home. About 3/4 of the way up the left side of the house, so getting near the back left corner. Anyway, right outside the crawl space entrance here, you've got a 4-inch PVC cleanout, friction style cap on it. This cap does the job. Just be aware, these caps come off quite easily. As you can see here, it just pops right off. If you have kids, especially younger ones, I would suggest spending 20 bucks on some pipe glue, 25 bucks, something like that, and gluing a flange onto here. You could even Fernco one on, but I think glue is going to be stronger. Anyway, with a screw top on it, it takes more effort to get those things off of there. After 15 years of scoping lines, the amount of times I've seen kids drop rocks down cleanouts is many. Anyhow, off we go here. We just zeroed out at the base of the cleanout. Water's running. We are immediately swapped over to 3034 PVC. Now we are back into standard PVC. Camera right now is upside down. You have a little bit of a dimple there in the flow line, but the plastic is intact. I usually don't start getting concerned about those until they've either perforated and you can clearly tell they have opened up to the ground, split open, or the plastic is stressed so badly that you can see where it's turned. In PVC, it's a little bit different looking because the plastic's already white, but you get a very obvious wear line where the plastic is stressed, where it looks like it's going to crack at some point. So that does not have that appearance, and we will get a second look at that when the line's drained out. But thus far, very nice flowing line and super clean. I'm not sure if they jetted this line out, preparing the line for the sale, or if they just live this clean, but this is precisely how you want your line to look right here. And the main living habit, and it's about the only thing a homeowner can do to really help maintain flow, aside from putting improper items down the line like wipes, flushable wipes, paper towels, things like that. The big one is not putting greases, fats, and oils down your kitchen sink drain. It builds up in the line. You end up with just a sticky mess for a flow line, and it causes debris to get stuck. It slows stuff down, and when things are when a blockage does occur, and or when something is close to blocking, it exacerbates it, and you get much more stubborn situations where the blockage is less likely to break loose on its own naturally. It's a good habit. Back to 3034 PVC now. So this line here would appear to be jaunting through, it looks like a neighbor's yard to get out to the main. I think it's shooting through the backyard of the house to the left of us here. We're going to go locate and verify that really quick. We have reached the main. I don't want to completely speak too soon here until the line's fully drained out. Sometimes the water will hide things, but thus far, that is a magnificent looking sewer line. I mean, especially considering it's 114 feet. Beautifully installed sewer line. And on a flat property too. It's whoever did this knew what they were doing. The average line, I've cambered over 25,000 homes. Unless you're on a hillside, had you told me how long this line was and showed me the configuration before scoping it, I would have guaranteed you we were going to probably hit 2 or 3 bellies with an inch or two of standing water in them. It's not easy to grade lines this length unless you've got a big hillside to work with, so pretty cool. Alrighty, so my suspicions were confirmed there. So the line, and I'll draw a little diagram on the report. It's a rough diagram, not a schematic. But the line terminates at the side street. So if you're standing facing this home, facing the front of the home from the road on Ellis Street, the line exits out the left side of the house. It makes kind of a 45-degree angle shot towards the rear left corner of the property. And then about in that location there is where the line turns, and then it shoots out to the street to the left of the home. So if you go one house over to the left, there's your side street right there. It shoots out to that. And right now it's even located and marked. If you go and stand over there, there is a couple driveways, and the line looks like it's coming up right adjacent to another driveway. But what's even more impressive about this, you can tell what gets a sewer guy like me excited. This install is incredible. The main lateral out there is only 4.5 feet deep, which is incredibly shallow. The average main lateral in a roadway is usually right around the 8-9 foot ballpark. In a lot of cases, much deeper than that, 10, 12, 15 feet even. So the fact that someone graded this, and this line's already coming out of the house here at probably 18 inches deep, they somehow managed to grade this thing with probably 2 feet of depth or so to work with out to 114 feet, which is unreal. If you were to have, I only say this because I have cambered thousands of lines this length in a similar configuration. If you were to hire 1,000 different companies to install this exact same sewer line, you might get 1 or 2 of them that looks like this. That's how insanely uncommon it is to get this kind of setup with a line that is, I mean, thus far, I don't think I've seen a single defect. And I fully expect to see those on lines this length. I treat these very differently than the average line because they were never designed from inception to do this, to run that far out. Generally speaking, most of the time you're going to have a main out front, the line's going to shoot out, and it's going to be 40, 50, 60 feet long, and those even would have a higher likelihood in general to have a belly in them, just from a statistical standpoint. So I would like to shake the hand of whoever put this thing in the ground. Just doing another locator too here, just to be able to give you an idea as to where the line shoots to the fence. So if you go walk to the back left corner of the fence line and look over that fence to the left of this house, what you'll see in that area there is a neighbor's shed, and then just beyond that is a trailer. There's like a little parking driveway spot there. If you were to go out to the side street there and face that property and look up their little driveway there, if I recall off the top of my head, where the locates were coming down there was on the left side edge of that neighbor's driveway. Hard to say. I didn't do that locating, so I can't guarantee it, but my locates lined up in the street with everything they did there. I have no reason to doubt it, based on what I've seen here so far. But either just to the left of that driveway or just barely underneath the left side edge. Alright, so the line ends up shooting through the fence line here. This is approximating it a little bit, but about 1 full fence panel in from the back left corner of the property. So I don't know, maybe 10 feet or so, probably, from the back left corner goes to the left side fence there. So anyway, check with title. Generally speaking, when you have a line like this that traverses someone else's property, there's always easements in place. That way, in the event a repair is ever needed, you have the ability to do that. I would just watch for that document. And I think the only thing in this line I could even nitpick is that little dimple in the flow line, which is a gigantic nothing burger. The plastic's intact there. It's a little tiny dimple. And I usually don't start worrying about those things unless they're really big and tall and stressing the plastic, and or, where they're either open to the ground close to that, or they're going to affect the sewer line. In this case, it's a visual blemish. Sometimes these lines are resting on top of a rock that deforms the pipe a little bit. It's impossible to know if it's a progressive situation. Usually they are not. And dimples like that can sometimes be created from pipe sitting for too long on a rack at the plumbing supply store. And it's just a permanent dimple that's in the line, and that's that. It never turns into anything. So I don't really have much reason to think that's going to progress. As whatever it is, it does not appear sharp, elongated, something that's pokey that's going to go stabbing through it. So anyway, beautiful sewer. I don't get to say that very often. I see these lines like this that blow my mind just once or twice in a year. So fabulous flow, end to end, spotless clean sewer line. There is hardly a thing about it I can nitpick. Sewer line is functioning properly at this time. And just to give you a quick idea, the diagram and all that doesn't help. So there's your clean out. That's staring up the back. That's the back left corner of the fence line. So if you go from that back left corner and work your way towards us right now, where I'm at, about one full fence panel back this direction, just before it actually, that support post for that last panel. That's about where the line shoots for the fence line there. And then runs across that neighbor's property and angle, straightens out, and then turns and goes out to the road.